A couple of weeks ago, I went to a local coin show and I was talking to one of only a handful of dealers there that actually had paper currency. And he asked me what I was interested in. What do I collect? I didn't have a good answer for him because what I collect is actually best defined by what I don't collect. And I know that sounds really vague and weird, but it's true. If you're into collecting US paper currency, you are probably well aware that this hobby can get expensive. And depending on what you collect and how you collect, it has the potential of getting very expensive. I kind of learned this the hard way back in the beginning of my currency collecting journey, where I was buying just anything and everything. And I realized that I really needed to tighten the scope and essentially put limitations on what I collect. Probably the most significant limitation is strictly based on chronology. I do not have a single note in my personal collection that was issued after 1963, with one very specific exception, which of course is the 1966 $100 legal tender. This is probably one of my favorite notes. It's a bit of an oddity to have a $100 bill with Benjamin Franklin in a red seal. But other than that, this is the only exception to that specific rule. The great thing about the paper currency collecting hobby is there is so much out there to collect. It really is an almost endless hobby. Just off the top of my head, I mean, there's so much, like you could collect fractional currency, military payment certificates. You can collect colonial currency, continental currency. You can collect error notes, specific types of error notes, fancy serial numbers, specific types of fancy serial numbers, star notes, not to mention all of the national bank currency. You can collect all of the chartered banks from your town, from your county, from your state, from your region, from the country in general. You can collect based on district. You can collect based on Friedberg number. That's the beautiful part about US paper currency. There is so much to collect, and that there's different focuses and different areas and aspects of the hobby to get into if you want to. Strictly speaking, I'm a type collector, and still there's so much in my collection that I need to acquire. There's so many holes to fill within just a type collection. I'm not a specialized collector. For example, I have a $1 1899 silver certificate, the Black Eagle. It's a solid AU note. It's a nice looking note. Happens to have a Spielman White signature combination. I don't need the 8 other signature combinations, the Vernon McClungs and the Mellon Tates or whatever it is. I have my $1 Black Eagle, and now I can move to something else. The one thing that I have moved into recently, and really only in the last year or two, is obsolete currency. I've always loved obsolete currency. I love the idea of obsolete currency. And it's something that I've wanted to get into for a while, and I've found the opportunity to get into it, again, within the last year or two. And I've done so pretty gradually. I'm not buying anything and everything like I did when I first got into the hobby several years ago. I like certain notes. I find good deals, or maybe I'll buy collections or lots if the price is right. But generally speaking, I like what I like with the obsolete currency, and that's how I purchase and acquire notes. The reason I'm making this video is because I want to know what you collect. Are you a type collector? Do you collect just star notes? Do you collect error notes? Do you collect charter notes? Do you collect obsoletes? What do you collect? Do you collect everything? I would love to read your answers in the comments. Please leave your answers in the comments so I could take a look at them and so other people on YouTube can take a look at them as well. I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day weekend. I will see you in the next video. And again, thanks for watching.